thinking about the album, listening from kind of front to back, I've got an interesting quote from Avery that I'm going to throw at you.
Yeah.
And you can I'm interested to hear your thoughts. So Avery, talking about the album format, says it requires patience. You put a record on, particularly a vinyl album, and you enter into this other world. You let this record take you somewhere else when you're giving it your time. This idea of the album as a trip or a journey, I think, is something that can sound really pretentious sometimes. And it's actually the kind of description that I read so much on crap like resident advisor reviews that ultimately I feel as though it's become fairly meaningless as a statement. Having said that, is Avery chatting rubbish here, or does this idea stand up with Drone Logic when you listen to it in its entirety, do you think?
I think it stands up. I would say that, first off, I think for almost every album, song, like the position the songs are put in the track listing matters. So when people, as you say, like on Resident Advisor, refer to an album being a journey, I would say almost every album is designed at least to try and evoke those feelings of a journey. Just some are more successful than others. With Daniel Avery, I think he pulls it off. What's your thought?
Mate, I agree completely. I think the songs on Drone Logic are not interchangeable at all for me, and I think it's about the order and also how certain songs affect the rest of the album. Like if you think about Spring 27 and how that dramatically shifts the tone of the last few songs, if that wasn't there, or if that was in a different spot, the album wouldn't have the same effect. And I'm not trying to say that, because this kind of goes back to what you were saying about ambient quotas and things like that. I'm not trying to say that for an album to be great, it must have a U-turn or a dramatic mood shift and it needs a certain song to do that. I'm just saying that Avery does that really well, and it doesn't come across as a gimmick. It feels organic to me.
I was just going to say, in a live setting, right, and Daniel Avery mentions it, you're literally bound by what the DJ has chosen. So you are letting them dictate how you'll feel. You're putting essentially like not an insubstantial amount of time of your life into the hands of someone else. So when you do that, there's this like tacit commitment to just kind of going along with the flow and being unresisting when a DJ tries to take you on a journey. The same thing of when you put on a record, like a physical record, you are investing your time in, all right, well, I've put it on, I've had to, whatever, take it out of the sleeve, blah, 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 take it out of the collection. There's a practical time you're investing that makes it that you want to engage in the journey. When you're listening on your phone or through your headphones, there is no such practical commitment to listening to the whole album. So when you stick on a song, there is nothing to stop you going and completely changing how you want to feel and what you want to hear. But yet with this album, with Daniel Avery, I feel it's one of those ones where you put on a song or a song comes up and shuffle, you think, I'm going to go listen to the whole thing. So the fact that he pulls that off, even on like a phone in that kind of digital environment, is like absolute credit to him.
It does say a lot.